Welcome to this month's episode of The Breeze. And we have with us this morning as our usual panel of Margie Bruiser and Tina. And Tina, Margie, last month we talked a little bit about laughter being so important to raising your morale and getting you through all kinds of trouble. Laughter, the best medicine, I think we called it. And building on that, this month, what did you laugh about last month, Tina?
Well, I laughed about the fact that these people are doing some crazy things and everybody's trying to celebrate maybe a little too early, but you know, the guy at the Super Bowl doing the streak, that brought back memories.
That brought back memories of the 70s for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Margie?
Well, I try to laugh more when I'm on the telephone because I'm not seeing a lot of people right now.
Uh-huh.
And you can always find something, just an innuendo or a joke, or just engage somebody in laughter. And that's always fun right now.
Yeah, well, you know, we're in a position here where we've had a long period of not inactivity necessarily, but certainly lesser activity. We've slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to, you know, and we're all getting more seasoning in terms of age and so forth. And I just wondering what your thoughts might be on getting through and transitioning from active to less active, and how do you recharge and get going again?
Music is always my trigger. I just love music, and I've been enjoying getting all kinds of links to historical music. This is Black History Month. Looking at some of the historical perspectives, Mitchellville, right here in Hilton Head, and also listening to one of my favorite channels is the R&B classics, good old Motown and some of the old groups, Earth, Wind and Fire. They always make me happy.
Okay, well, and I can see you dancing in your living room. I'm getting a vision. That's it. There you go. There you go. And have you been getting out more?
Going to market, that's one of my spots. You know, I look forward to that every week, and tomorrow's Thursday and it's Farmers Market Day. So I'm looking to go and seeing some of my friends.
Well, Margie, you're still laying low a little bit, I know. And but what have you done to make yourself more happy and, you know, and to face up to the inevitability of what's going on?
Well, I'm seeing more people in the neighborhood, even if it's out on the street or visiting from afar, maybe sharing my food with somebody. We've been active though. You know, I live in a community where we do a lot of charitable work, and we have had a shoe drive for Mercy Mission and been running around doing that. And also Backpack Buddies, did a extensive shopping spree on this week in Walmart with a gal here in my neighborhood. So it's like getting out, but doing good, doing something purposeful. Now, however, I have to say that watching the Super Bowl was one of the highlights, and I look forward to that for quite a while. Now I'm going to mourn the passing of that season. I'm going to have to pick up another sport, maybe girls basketball.
Okay, okay. Well, I thought the Super Bowl was disappointing in many, many ways, but that you know, you still watch it.
Oh yeah, yeah. What about you, Doug? Doug, what are you doing?
Well, you know, I've tried not to slow down. You know, I'm I think we've all got at least one shot now, and we're looking forward to our second shot. But even prior to that, I tried to get out and do as much as I possibly could in terms of going to restaurants or theater or whatever, and being, you know, very careful, wearing masks and all that stuff. And that's kind of kept me going. I mean, my situation, if I'm sitting around the house and not doing too much, then I start to focus on what's wrong with me and the obstacles in my life. And that's a little depressing. And I got to figure out a way to get around that or over that and get the energy level back up.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I heard a rumor about you that your owls is the new Cheers.
That's no rumor. Well, yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that, going over to Al's and sitting and have a nice cocktail and meeting people. I've been there several times. Still playing golf, still playing a little bit of croquet here and there. Doing the TV work has been a real godsend because it gets me out in the community,
Right.
talking to people and seeing what their plans are for recharging and getting more active. Um, you know, the problem I have, as I said, is that if you have obstacles in your life at this stage, people of a certain age, as they say, you know, maybe you're losing your hearing, or maybe you're having trouble remembering some things, or maybe you're having some trouble staying on task. And, you know, you have to concentrate more on how you get through the day.
I know when I get up in the morning, I have a tendency to go in literal circles. You know, I
Literal
start,
circles.
yeah, I start, the coffee, and then I see something else that I should do, like put up the dishes. And then, then I need to take my blood pressure, because I try to do that every day. And it's like, okay, did I finish X? And then, you look at the cabinet and you see the cabinet's open where you're going to get the coffee, but you didn't finish the coffee. So I have consciously worked on trying to complete a task.
Okay. How about you, Marge?
Well, I'm in the same boat. I look at my vertical blinds throughout my house, and I've lived here about 4 years, and I don't really want to shock them by putting water on them. So I think, well, let me see how they look. They seem to be happy. I keep them open. Nobody sees the dust. It's amazing though, because when this all first started, I thought, I'm going to get all these long-term awaited projects done. The family history I've been working on, my Venetian, my blinds, my whatever. And, I've kept putting it off. And it's almost like a little voice is saying, I'll blame the little voice, you have all the time in the world. Just sit down. Come on, have another cup of coffee. Watch Dr. Phil if you have nothing better to do. So it's kind of almost an amusement to me that I'm allowing not my structure, because I'm pretty well structured otherwise. But now that
really
I seem to have,
you really do have nothing better to do if you're watching Dr. Phil.
well, what I realize is getting too much like some other programs. It's getting a little more sensational than helpful. So Tamron Hall is my favorite.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Check that out. Yeah.
Well,
So
do you
anyway,
find
but
that,
I'm happy. I'm not feeling guilty about the undone things.
yeah,
But
you're
you
not
know
getting,
what, something, you hit on something, Margie. Yeah, the thing is that you got to recognize it's okay if you don't want to do it. And just because you assumedly have the time, you have to give yourself credit and just say, I don't feel like doing the blinds.
well, doesn't that stress you out though?
Huh?
Doesn't that tend to stress you out?
By not doing it?
Yeah.
No,
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 not
not
at
at
all.
all. All right.
Not at all.
because
Well,
nobody's telling me I need to.
Okay. And now, the other stress factor I've noted that is sort of strong during this period is the loss of, I'll call it the loss of intimacy, that you no longer have that face-to-face relationship, or it's certainly of a lesser quality and frequency. And that to me is a bit of a stressor. It makes you feel a little bit more lonely or alone in the world, facing the whatever obstacles you face, be they medical or something else.
Mhm.
And so that's a stressor that is a very real one. And I need to figure out what you people are going to tell me to do to get over it.
Well, I know what you're not going to do, but Duo definitely helps.
What?
Like we're doing Zoom. Duo
Oh,
is
yeah.
a one-on-one, and it's great. I mean, because my mom, who is turning 91 in March, we talk on the phone, but I'm gonna Duo her on her birthday. And I just think it's great because right now I can't get out to LA, but at least we have those conversations. And we laugh and we look at each other, and I send her pictures. I sent a picture of my pedicure that I got the other day.
You sent a picture of a pedicure.
Yeah,
Holy
Mommy,
cow.
look at my feet.
look at my feet.
Well, but the problem is I find the use of technology cold, very cold.
I think it's attitudinal.
Yeah. Okay.
It's how you use it.
Well, we're using it right now, and I still would rather be in the same room with you.
Oh, I know.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Which is why our meetings are so great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other thing you can do is, and then we've talked a little bit about it, is, and Margie, your neighborhood sounds great in terms of their efforts, but doing something selfless or doing something that you wouldn't ordinarily do during this period to sort of get you out of yourself, if you know what I mean, so that you're not worried about whether you're stressed or whether you're doing something or not.
Yeah.
And so doing something selfless and outward focused.
And maybe it's even picking up the phone and calling somebody and say, hey, you've been on my mind.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Yeah.
I've actually gotten a couple of phone calls like that from people I hadn't heard from in forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that they're out there struggling through it as well as anybody else.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
It's good to hear the voices.
Say
We're
again?
kind of riding a wave, we're riding a wave because let's let the immunizations get here. And now we're there. And now we're riding a rate. And okay, I got number 1 done. I have to do it's kind of we're a journey, but we have a little bit of purpose in it now because we can focus on making it better. So I think that's hopeful. But I think we also have to be careful not to just sit in front of the news every evening or every morning and hear the statistics. Or you hear counterpart attitudes and information. It's like, well, they're in somewhere, therein lies the truth. So we have to pick up on, I think, of those positives and the hope that, help has been on the way, help is on the way, and we're making some progress here.
Well,
I think,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's important to love yourself as well and to do things for yourself because one of the pivotal things for me having a birthday recently, I couldn't go out and party, but gee, I got lots of love and attention on Facebook, which was really nice to hear from people I hadn't heard from.
Yeah.
To know that they're thinking of you. I think that's important. And also doing something to make yourself happy. Margie sent me a really cute thing that if I can read to you real quick, if I can find it. It says, find your own happy and not what you think you should do to make you happy in the world from others.
Okay. Well, I'm reminded, based on what Margie said about purpose, of my old friend Peter B. Short, my high school buddy. And Peter used to say, it's better to be busy than idle, but in the final analysis, there's no substitute for a purpose.
For a purpose.
That was reasonably profound.
Yeah.
But we went out on the street, as we usually do, and talked to some residents and got some really good interviews. We were basically looking to have them share with us what they have done lately that makes them happy and how they went about it. Let's take a look.
Well, one thing I've been doing is I'm a synchronette in addition to playing tennis. So we have been putting on a little mini show that because we can't have an audience this year because of COVID. So we've still been swimming, and just to satisfy our own itch, we've been putting on a little show, and it's going to be videotaped. And actually, I think Sun City TV may play bits and pieces of it when it's all done.
Well, that's great. And how about you? What has made you happy during this period that other than tennis?
Really, I'm pretty much happy all the time. I do play pickleball. Like I said, I lost my job due to COVID. And there's no pressure. I mean, we don't have to go from here to here to here. So it's sort of, I know it's hard to believe, but I've been relaxing, so.
Well, that would make me happy as well.
The friends that I've made here in Sun City, they're wonderful people. It's an exhilarating place to live. You see people out, even in the rain last couple of days, you see people out walking, jogging, biking. It's encouraging.
Being here in Sun City and being on the softball field and the pickleball field, or courts, I should say, and just living the life of retirement.
Actually, being with my wife JoJo makes me very happy. She likes to do everything I do, and I like to do everything she does.
What really makes me happy is when I can crack that bat and hit that ball solid. Also makes me happy to catch the ball now and then too. But love playing tennis. I'm all about Sun City. There's so much stuff here to do, so many things to keep you busy if you want to be busy. Had a wedding last year. One of my daughters sprung a wedding on us, so I did end up traveling, and a little bit nervous about getting on that plane, but we did it, and that was a very happy time.
An event that has made me happy is after 14 weeks of being post-surgery for my shoulder, my hand goes up to here, and then by next year at this time, it will go up here and I'll be playing tennis.
Other than tennis, can you think of a thing that's made you most happy recently?
Yes. Last year, I suffered with breast cancer and went through all the treatments. And then we moved here. I have been so happy living here, being outside, making new friends. I have been absolutely joyous about it. So living here has just been, my husband and I are just so happy here.
Well, certainly some interesting answers there, girls. And
Definitely.
so what, the bottom line is a lot of people are taking more care consciously of themselves, whether it's health-wise or whether it's improving their mental health, reading more, and doing stuff that they always have enjoyed, but somehow never found the time to do.
Mhm.
It's a time that we can be a little self-centered.
Mhm.
And, that always has sort of a ominous negative feel about it when you hear, oh, he's so self-centered. But I'm talking about self-centeredness to what fits us right now and what we need and what we do for ourselves and others.
Yeah.
But we have every right to be self-centered, because if we're not centered, how are we going to go out and help other-centered? If that's
Well, I
Too many
want to chime on
centers.
that. I want to chime on that because centered also denotes stability. So if you're
Okay.
centered, your core is good, then you've got good balance, and that helps you deal with all the external things, pluses and the minuses. I think you have a better opportunity to resolve it more easily.
Yeah.
Okay, so work on yourself, and that allows you to be a better person to others, or a better person generally.
I think so.
Okay. And what if, no, I won't say it. Now, what else have you done that's been out of the ordinary? Just to get you recharged and ready to enter a normal world?
Well, I went back to work, so that's been a hoot.
Okay.
And I've enjoyed the interaction so much. It's been great to connect with people. We have a lot of visitors that come to our beautiful location. In fact, my realtor who sold my home in Virginia happened to be on 95, had never been to Hilton Head, decided to come, and she started looking. She's looking to possibly retire down here. She says she's had 3 or 4 clients that have moved from Virginia down here.
Really?
Yeah. So she and her husband, we had dinner over at Frankie Bones outside, and we had a great dinner and good talk and caught up. I had not seen her in 14 years.
Wow.
Yep. And she told me the house that she sold, my house, the guy who lives there just loves it.
Mhm.
I said, give me my house back.
Is he a rancher?
No.
No, then he's off the list, I guess. Well,
I think too that we have a purpose within this time. It's not like we say, well, I'm just going to take care of myself. And just, I'm going to look kind of away a little bit because this is make sure I'm catching the high points here. It's just a matter of choice, a matter of how we perceive ourselves in terms of what we can do. But we must find value in what we have done, what we have lived out already, and what we are still doing today to make society a better place. And at the least, even if we're really feeling down and out, all of us probably have a smile left. And if we can share that with somebody else or give comfort to somebody, that we have to kind of send this message that there's always hope. And we think back through the ages of the turmoil of things like this, looking back 200 years ago. I mean, they had epidemics. I'm not belittling this at all, but the survival of the soul, of the keep marching forward, if medically you can do so. And I think it can slow us down, but it doesn't have to stop us. And we'll know when it's ready to jump back on the track full steam.
And when you say that you must find value in the things you do, I'm hoping that you're not using other people's standards of quote, but rather relying on your own definition.
Right.
Because
yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's value to yourself and to your soul and to your psyche that has no value to anyone else. That's always been true, I guess.
Yeah, and sometimes we have to kind of just pull it from way down deep, and have some remembrances of when the things we want to remember that are important to us. They give us value, even if today kind of be, might be a stinky day, but we got to pull from other places.
And
our environment
pulling,
doesn't define us.
Absolutely. And in pulling, I think you have to learn how to shake it off. You pick your priorities, you pick your battles, and determine, this is something that I really, really need to fight for, or this is something I really need to just set aside and not let it bring me down. We have to make those conscious decisions.
Yeah, and I think that leads to another concept that was mentioned recently, and that's as we move back into the new normal is selective scheduling. Don't try to do everything at once or do it that you missed and pack your days, because that's a stressor.
Definitely.
4 or 5 appointments or 4 or 5 functions of some sort. Some may be social, some may be business related or whatever. They have to be selective in how you're scheduling your life again.
Absolutely.
And included in that is consciously scheduling what do they call recoupment time. And I believe that was your concept there, Tina. And
it was.
And everyone who is at Sun City is familiar with the concept of being overscheduled in retirement. Or maybe they're still working and they have to overschedule a little, but you need to schedule downtime. And that downtime could be done doing something frivolous or something that is of value to you and of value to no one else.
And also in that, learning how to say no.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
How do you say that, Tina?
No.
No. Well, and I think that that's an important concept, and certainly one we can talk a little bit more about. And to sum up today's episode, I think we're all in the same position in a sense. We're facing obstacles and trying to get through them in a positive manner. And yet it's a new world out there, which creates its own set of obstacles.
Yeah.
And so if we're going to recharge, we've got to be conscious of what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're in this together. I mean, we are not alone. We may be lonely sometimes, but we are not alone. And we have to remember that.
Margie, any final thought?
Just keep the faith, keep looking for better days, and congratulate yourself for doing a good job if you feel you've had a productive day and have not been complaining and maybe even smiled.
Well, that's great. And thank you, ladies, for a great discussion. We look forward to talking to you again next month when we again shoot the breeze.